What up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Tie My Skates podcast. It's DG, it's Z, and the Flyers season is right around the corner. As you guys are listening to this, it's probably just right around a month away. Football's back. It's a great time of year, and
yeah, those competitive fan juices are flowing watching football again, and I just can't wait to watch the Flyers play again, dude. October 15th against Vancouver, we'll be there. It's like a fun team to play because we haven't played them in over 2 years.
Yeah.
And I don't know how good they are. I don't think they're great, so I hope we just crush them.
Yeah, they got a lot of talent, but they're not that great.
Defensive.
They were shitty in the Canadian division last year, so
true.
That should tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah, but nothing would be worse than coming out game one with a bad loss.
I don't even care if we lose. I know this team is good enough to make the playoffs, and I'm not gonna go one game at a time, ripping into a team
true.
if they have a bad game.
But, I want a nice start though. I want a hot start, and we'll be in the stadium. We'll be around all the bars, inside, outside, Xfinity Live. So if any of you fans want to meet up, any listeners, just DM us, tweet at us. We'll grab a beer. Nothing weird.
Yeah, nothing weird. Always happy to talk with Flyers fans. I mean, drinking beers and talking about the Flyers it's
what we do.
It's a fucking pastime for us. Yeah. So, yeah, just don't kidnap us or kill us or anything, and we'll have some drinks. So why don't we get into our topics today? First topic we got for you guys is the Flyers Hall of Fame candidates. So if you guys have been living under a rock and haven't heard, there are six people that the Flyers have, put out there as, nominated, thank you, for the Flyers Hall of Fame. And those players are Simone Gagne, Mark Recchi, Paul Holmgren, Lou Nolan, Rick Tocchet, and Bob the Hound Kelly. So to start, Z, who are your favorite players from this list, and who do you specifically want the Flyers to choose for the Flyers Hall of Fame?
I mean, those are two separate questions. So, my favorite player is Simone Gagne from this list, hands down. I think Recchi and Tocchet and Homer, I think all of them deserve to be in there. It's just a matter of who's going to get in this year, or if they're going to have multiple this year or what. I know they've done multiple in the past, like they did Lindros and Leclerc in the same, I think it was the same was it the same day game? I think they're both in November 2014. I don't remember if it was the same game. And then they did Eric Desjardins and Rod Brindamore both in 2015.
Yeah, I remember them giving out.
Actually, though.
I remember them giving out. Didn't they give out these little little jersey looking things that they handed out at the games? I might be wrong, but
I can't remember.
There's something like that, and when they hang a number in the rafters, they give you that little mini flag and stuff.
I thought they gave out Voracek Chia Pets.
They did that for sure. I actually had one. They gave out gritty ones as well.
Light up wrist bracelets. All right, we're not going to talk about that. Anyway, so my pick is based off, what they've done for the team and the amount of, time they've put in as a Flyer. And with that said, my pick is Bob the Hound Kelly. He played 741 games with this club, more than any of the other players in the list. And he scored the Game 6 Cup clinching goal against Buffalo in 1975. So the last time this team won a Stanley Cup, this is the guy who scored the game winner. And he's not in the team's Hall of Fame yet. So I think he definitely deserves to be in there. Like I said, I think they'll all get in there. Holmgren more so for his time as a GM and president, and less as his time as a player, even though he did serve as a player too, so that's part of it. But I also think the fact that he's still involved with the team, it's maybe weird if they vote him in. I'm pretty sure he might be on the committee that votes players in. So I think once he parts with the team officially, they'll definitely get him in. And then my runner-ups Lou Nolan, this guy's the voice of the team. Can you imagine going to a Flyers game and not hearing him say it's a Pico power play?
Yeah, I originally said on our tweets and Instagram posts and stuff, I said my picks were Gagne and Recchi, but after thinking about it more, like you're right with the Bob the Hound Kelly pick. It's like he scored a cup clinching goal. You'd think that guy might deserve to get in before guys that like Mark Recchi and Gagne just put up a fuck ton of points for us. Bob the Hound Kelly helped us win a Stanley Cup, so it's two different things there. And then yeah, you're right with Lou Nolan. I mean, this dude's given over half of his life to the Philadelphia Flyers. He's been announcing every home game since I believe 1972 when he took over for the former Flyers announcer. So I mean, he's been here a long time. So for that reason, I might lean more towards Lou Nolan. But I mean, you could flip a coin for either him or the Hound, or honestly any of them.
Any of these guys, yeah. Like I said, they all deserve to be in there.
They all deserve, and they all will be. It's just a matter of when. And we talked a little bit about this before recording. It's when you get nominated for the Hall of Fame the first time and you're picked that first time, I feel like it's even more meaningful.
Yeah,
so that's why I feel like. So that's why I feel like I don't know which of these guys were nominated the last time, but like to me, I feel like Simon Gagne, this might be his first time on the ballot because it's been about 10 years since he was on the team, and he's been retired for a little bit. So like I could see them picking Gagne because like he's the best player clearly here. Like he deserves to be first time nominated, picked, you know. But yeah, I mean it really is a toss up.
Yeah, I mean I just like the Hound was like a player had we been watching then, I'm sure we would love him. Like he was a fan favorite, like bottom six, like spark plug player. Like I want to think of like Wayne Simmons, like when I think of him. But I mean he like the last cup we won was in 1975, and this guy scored the game winner. So like I don't know how you don't have him. But
yeah.
Lou
Wayne
Nolan
Simmons
too.
is a great comparable actually. Probably fits pretty well.
I'm sure Wayne Simmons he does have more points than him, but different age. Yeah. Different age. I do have a quick Lou Nolan story. I was at a Flyers preseason game. This must have been like 3 or 4 years ago. They were playing the Rangers. It was the first year Kevin Hayes was on the Flyers.
So 2 years ago.
Yeah. And we were sitting like in club seats, like whatever, 200 level. And Lou Nolan came up between like one of the intermissions and was just like talking to random fans. It's a preseason game, you know. It's not like the stands were full. And he came up and talked to me and my girlfriend and everyone we were with. And they didn't know who he was, but I did. And he was like, "Oh, you got a pretty good view from up here." And I was like, "Yeah, your view's not that bad either, Lou." And he was like, "Yeah, you got a good point." And we had a good conversation. And he came up and like took part of his night to say hi to some of the fans, which was really nice of him. So I'll always remember that about him. So
I mean, yeah, sounds like a good guy, nice guy. I mean,
but we are owned by a corporation, and whoever is going to be the guy making the Hall of Fame is going to be who's going to bring the most fans into the stadium for Simon Gagne night or whatever, or Mark Recchi night. Like, is Bob the Hound Kelly going to bring the most fans in the stadium? I don't think so. Does he deserve it the most? Probably.
Most of the people, like, all right, this is like kind of mean to say, but like most of the people that probably knew and loved Bob the Hound Kelly might be dead.
Yeah.
And so like it's kind of, I'm laughing, but
it's
like
pretty dark.
It's a little messed up, but yeah, like you're right. Simon Gagne would put the asses in seats and would probably make the Flyers money. And it shouldn't be just about money and getting asses in seats for a Hall of Fame, but like maybe that does play a factor in whoever's all the people that get a vote in who gets it. I think I saw an interview with Jim Jackson where he still didn't know, like he still didn't fill out his form for who he's picking. So there's a lot of things that go into picking.
Jim Jackson's another guy that like he'll be in the Flyers Hall of Fame down the line. Like I know that they had Gene Hart before, but like us growing up, we always heard JJ. So like JJ is the voice of when you watch a Flyers game on TV. Like it's weird if you don't hear JJ doing the game.
Yeah,
so
agreed.
Like
so
when he's all said and done, he's gonna get in.
So Lou Nolan should as well.
Yeah,
I mean, you're right. Like we keep going back and forth with these guys, but like it's really just a matter of when, not if.
It's also like these guys are old, Bob Kelly and Lou Nolan. Like, do you want to like posthumously put them into the Hall of Fame, or do you want to like have them actually there for it? That's also a very dark thing to say. I'm sorry, but
yeah, but you're that's like completely right. Like, these guys should get to see themselves get in. Like, that's something that you don't want to be dead and it happen. You want to be alive and actually get to feel and feel that moment and be a part of it. So yeah, Lou Nolan and the Hound, those guys should probably get in before the rest of them on this list, but who knows?
Also,
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, just a quick shout out. Holmgren got inducted into the USA Hockey Hall of Fame as part of the 2021 class. So we could see him getting into 2 Hall of Fames this year, but he's a real hockey guy. I don't think he cares too much about the awards, but he served this team a lot, not in, like we said, like not just as a player, but as a
and still
GM
is
and president and as an advisor.
Yeah, he's still serving, so that might play a factor. I don't know if you mentioned it, but that'll play a factor as well. Like, he's still a part of the team, so maybe I feel like out of all of these guys, now that I'm looking at him, I feel like Holmgren and like Rick Tocchet are probably the bottom of the barrel here. All the other 4 should probably get the nod before them too, but I don't know. We don't get a vote, so we don't get to really choose. We can just give our opinions.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I wish we had a vote. Be nice.
I'd vote for the Hound.
Me too, probably.
Because
now that I'm thinking about it,
name, dude.
When you think of the Hound, what do you think of?
Well, Game of Thrones, because
so you don't really think about him.
Yeah, but before Game of Thrones came out, if you said that, I would say Bob Kelly.
Oh yeah.
Like, when you think of the Hammer, who do you think of?
Dave Schultz.
There you go, baby. Let's get some more like dope ass nicknames in hockey. Like, what's going on? Like, who has like a cool nickname?
The Wayne Train was a pretty goddamn good one.
Wayne Train was pretty good because I love that fucking one meme of his face on a train that was like on fire or whatever. Yeah, I would tweet that one all the time. That
Jake
was my
the
favorite.
Snake, pretty decent
that's
one.
Like, but that's like, there's a lot of Jake the Snakes out there.
Hartnell have a nickname? Not really. Kinda hot. That's probably it is a little bit.
Okay. Let's go in the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, let's go to around the league in the Winter Olympics. So I guess before our last podcast, it was probably announced, but I don't think we really got into it. We had a lot of other stuff to talk about with Coots and I forget what else happened. It feels like it's been a million years.
Derek Brassard.
Yeah, Derek Brassard and whatnot. But yeah, the NHL is finally coming back to the Olympics. I think it was a few years back when they said that they would no longer be allowing NHL players into the Olympics, which sucked. I remember, like, I can't even remember. Like, was it who were the like 38-year-old players that were like the best on the team? Like the team for Team USA was horrible. I remember for the last Olympics. I'm completely blanking on the name. I believe he played for the Rangers or Devils.
Brian Giunta.
Yeah, Brian Giunta. Was he the captain? I think he was.
The one 2018 Pyeongchang, right? In South Korea? Is that where we're...
Yes. I think it's only been one. It's only been one Winter Olympics that we haven't been in.
Okay.
So I think it was Brian Giunta. You're right.
Yeah, it was Brian Giunta, but I'm trying to think
of
who was on like
the.
So like, yeah, there's like guys I've never even fucking heard of on this team.
Yeah, I mean, if we looked them up right now for you guys and read off the names that were on Team USA,
Ryan
Team
Donato,
Canada
who's like 25 years old, was on that team.
I think he just got signed by the Kraken today for like under $800K or like something like that.
Yeah, they had a lot of young guys on this team, huh? James Wisniewski was another old D-man on that team.
Jordan that's how sad it was. I
want to look at Canada's roster because
I remember when it originally happened that they said no NHL players were going to be in the Winter Olympics. I was like, oh, this sucks. But then I was like, wow, like maybe it could be like back in the day where it was just a bunch of college hockey kids, and like in 1980 when like the Miracle on Ice happened, like that's what I was hoping would happen. But obviously that's like wishful thinking because that was a once in a lifetime thing, and it's just something that's never going to happen again. But
the captain of Team Canada was Chris Kelly.
I don't even know who that is.
Exactly. And
Any relation to Charlie?
Any relation to Bob Kelly?
Yeah.
Derek Waugh was on that team. Renee Bork, Mason Raymond. These are just the names I sort of recognize from playing NHL.
Mason Raymond, yeah.
Gilbert Brule. I don't know, man. There was, it was the garbage squad.
Yeah. So
who even won? Did Sweden or Finland win that year?
Probably. I don't know. I don't think I really watched it. I'll definitely watch it now because it's a lot more entertaining when the best players in the world are playing in the Olympics, because that's how it's supposed to go.
Yeah, it was the Russian athletes that couldn't say they were from Russia or whatever. They were like the athletes from Russia, Olympic athletes from Russia. Remember they had the whole doping scandal and like Russian players couldn't play for Russia actually, so they had to like put on a bullshit team. Okay.
Wait, this was the last Olympics?
That was the last Winter Olympics.
I must have been living under a rock. Jesus, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just happy that we got the best players in the world playing in the Winter Olympics again.
Kirill Kaprizov won gold with Russia.
Oh, so Russia won.
Ilya Sorokin. Yeah, but it was like the Olympic athletes from Russia was the name of the team because they couldn't be under actual Russia.
Because Vladimir Putin's I'm not going to say it because he probably has some kind of technology listening to everything, and
yeah, just
I'd get sniped out of fucking nowhere.
The goalies on that team were Igor Shesterkin and Ilya Sorokin.
I mean, those are two good goalies, so
yeah, Kovalchuk,
nice.
Kaprizov,
No wonder they won.
Datsuk was still playing back then.
Remember, I think Ovechkin was going to just not play in the NHL that year because he wanted to play for Russia.
Yeah.
Why are these Russian players so supportive of their country and their dictator of a leader?
Dude, because
doesn't make much sense.
If you're if they're not super athlete there, then you can just do whatever the fuck you want.
I guess that's true. So I guess Artemi Panarin's the only one with a
political issues. Let's not get into all of this, man. We're going deep right here now.
Sorry. Anyway,
NHL's back in the Olympics, baby. There's going to be actual good players playing for the teams. And there is a caveat there. In the deal that the NHL made, they can back out due to COVID reasons. If they think it's for the best of the safety of the NHL players, they can back out and not go.
There would be havoc on social media.
But as of now, there is a
2-week
pause built into the schedule. But yeah, I'm excited, dude. We haven't seen U.S. hockey since good U.S. hockey since Sochi.
Yeah, I mean, so that's almost 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, 2014.
I think so, right?
That's not 12 years ago.
That's okay.
It's about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
8-ish, yeah.
You're an accountant, right?
Yeah. No. See, people always say this about accountants with they're supposed to be good at math, but the math is done for you on Excel, so I don't have to fucking do any of it. I also have a calculator next to me, so it's
True.
I don't want to get into my job though. It's boring as fuck and I hate it. So
yeah. So who are some Flyers players you think will crack this Olympic roster?
Well, if we're gonna go all of our players, Coots has maybe a chance. He might be a reserve player for Canada because there's just so many options there. USA, JVR probably has a chance. If Farabee keeps it up, if Farabee starts the season super hot, they might have no choice but to have him on the team.
I think USA's too stacked too, though. They got the Kachuk brothers, they got the Hughes brothers, and one of them plays defense, but you got Johnny Gaudreau.
Farabee's better than Brady
Brock Besser
right now. Maybe not Keat or not. What is it? Matt Kachuk? Yeah,
no,
Matt and Brady.
Brady has 2 20-goal years, doesn't he?
Farabee was on pace for over 30, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't Farabee get?
They're different players, but yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, they all played together on the U.S. development team. But I know Austin Matthews is going to be on that team. Can't wait to see him play with not the Leafs. So I mean, there's a lot of good players on there. Farabee might give him a shot. I think the only one who's a lock is Provorov, probably. on Team Russia.
For Russia? Yeah, you're right. Do we have any like
Carter Hart's not going to make
random nationality players that aren't like Russia, Canada, USA? I'm trying to think. Like Lindblom, is Sweden, right? He's not going to make it.
Team Sweden.
I don't think he will. There's a lot of good Swedes in the league.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think
we used to have Raffle.
Ristolainen, Team Finland.
Maybe.
Finnish defenseman. I'm trying to think.
He probably
stupid thing to finish. No, Heiskanen, Klingberg. I want to say it's hard, dude. I get Finnish and Swedish players mixed up.
Yeah, it is tough to differentiate between them.
Yeah, Klingberg's Finnish. God damn it. I mean Swedish. See, I even messed it up there. Yeah, most players are from Canada.
Yeah, I actually don't think we have a shot at anybody.
If Carter Hart
Coots
played well last year, he would probably be in talks to be Team Canada's goalie just because they fucking love that guy up there. But I think, probably Provorov's the only lock.
A lock, yeah, Provorov. Yeah. I mean, oh well. If the Flyers players don't get
Ryan
the bid,
Ellis makes the defensive roster for Team Canada. Their defense is kind of old, dude.
Old, like Drew Doughty's going to be playing.
Doughty's old.
Hedman's Swedish.
Weber's injured.
Weber's not good
Burns
enough.
Is old.
Stinks.
Like, who else was on? Vlasic was on the team before. Old.
Stinks.
I can't even think of some other guys, but
Ryan Ellis actually might have it. He actually might have a chance. You're right. I mean, I can't think of these players off the top of my head, but I guess so. We got Coots, maybe. Provorov, probably the lock. JVR, maybe for Team USA. JVR/Farabee. And
that's it.
That's it.
I mean, G's not going to make Team Canada.
No, yeah. I mean, he's still great, but they're going to lean towards younger, faster players. But, honestly, at the end of the day, I don't really care if any of our players make the teams or not. I'd rather our players be able to have a couple weeks off, be with their families, have some rest, and
especially the young guys.
Yeah, just focus on our team. Don't focus on Olympics that come every 4 years. That's not the important part.
Well, think about last season, how beneficial a 2-week break would have been.
A lot of our players got a 2-week break
because of COVID, but a healthy 2-week.
Not a fun 2-week break. I think Giroux wasn't allowed to be with his wife and kid for 2 weeks. He's probably in a hotel or something. I thought he
stayed in D.C. because they got it in D.C.
Oh, that's even worse.
Or they tested positive when they were in D.C., so I think they had to stay there. Like him and a bunch of other players.
Sorry to any of our D.C. living fans, but I hate that fucking place. There's so much traffic. Everything's probably too political around there that I would just hate it. That must have sucked.
I don't mind D.C. D.C. is a decent city. But, so, imagine having a 2-week break in February last year. Probably would have paid
done
off.
Wonders for this team because we were in a dark place for a while around then.
So, I mean, the guys that want to go play for gold for their country, and the guys who aren't going to make the team want the fucking 2 weeks off, and they want their teammates to go and play for, gold. So it's like a win-win for everybody. The only thing that can stop it is if there's, a Delta outbreak or something with the NHL backs out. But also it's in China or Beijing, so the money that the NHL will be making going there and growing the game is going to be insane. So I don't think there's a shot they back out apart from a huge outbreak.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really foresee outbreaks happening just because I feel like if everyone's smart and just gets their booster shot and just does what they're supposed to do, I feel like the world would be in a better place by the time the Olympics happen. But I don't know. Anything can really happen.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do for travel and containing everybody, or if they're going to do some sort of Olympic bubble or whatever, or what's going to happen.
They're aren't they building
a city basically?
A city, so
that's what they do every time.
In The Simpsons, build a city and put a fucking big bubble around it, and everyone that comes in needs to quarantine for a certain amount of days, test negative a couple times, and then boom, it's just your own little society, like college, how like it's your own little society. Just have a little Olympic society for a couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what they do, but it's definitely exciting, dude. I'm gonna be excited to watch Olympic hockey, man.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I don't know how much of the Summer Olympics you watched, Z, but
I didn't
I'm
watch
not really
shit, dude. I barely
yeah.
paid attention because I was like, what? I don't like.
Yeah, I didn't much care
Like,
for
came
it
and
either.
went.
There was also nobody in the stands and stuff, which I get, but it's still like it's boring without fans. The Winter Olympics is so much more fun. Like when you think
Yeah.
about like snowboarding and skiing, like that's dope.
Dude, there's the one that I don't know
Curling,
what the fuck it's called.
so underrated.
But
I
the
love
one
curling.
where they ski down the mountain and then they pick up a gun and shoot a target and they like ski to the next thing. You know what I'm talking about?
like basically like a triathlon type thing.
But it's just skiing and shooting the entire time.
And is it without poles or with poles? I forget.
It might be with that.
I don't know.
But
Cross country skiing
that one's
with
fun.
with shooting. Yeah, that is fun.
It's a biathlon. That's what it's called. Yeah, they do. it.
Other than hockey, obviously, my personal favorite is probably curling. Don't ask me why. I just think it's like it's soothing and it's just like sick. I don't know. It's like something anybody could do. Like when you play shuffleboard.
It's like playing
with
like
your
bocce
friends or
ball.
something.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, it's just cool.
that's true. But yeah, just seeing these guys who we've been watching forever, and like a lot of new young guys who would be seeing playing on teams with Crosby and McDavid and Bergeron and Marchand all playing on the same team, and Marner and Matthews and the Hughes guys and all those other guys, and seeing these guys play on Olympic ice with international fans in the stands, because you see a regular season game in like this Finnish league, and it's like a Premier League game. Like they all got flags, they're chanting the entire time. It's like an amazing environment. So and in the Olympics that's multiplied. So being able to watch those guys play in that environment on the big ice where they have more room and more space, like, is McDavid just going to burn guys end to end the entire time?
Probably.
Like, think about how much more
Not
space
probably.
he has.
100%. Yes, he's going to.
Like he could just go wide on everybody and get around them.
Yeah, I mean, imagine when Canada plays like, I don't know.
Like-
Does Japan
like-
have a hockey team?
Like Latvia or like one of those like
Yeah, or
Eastern
like
European
some-
teams. Yeah,
Like just a team that doesn't have like NHL talented caliber
probably-
players on their team.
they're probably just gonna bench McDavid in that game. After
Yeah,
the
they
first.
probably should. They should probably just not play him. Let the other guys go. But yeah, I'm excited for the Olympics. It's a fun time. I mean, I've missed seeing the players play, so it's going to be nice. But for other around the league topics, one other thing I wanted to gloss over is the fact that Crosby is going to be out for basically the first about 6 weeks to start the season. And I think it was reported that Jeff Carter will start the season as their first line center, which I laughed at seeing that. It's just like, are these fucking guys going to tank? Like, are you kidding me? Hextall goes there and just starts tanking them already.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the Pittsburgh fans tweeting all offseason, like, when is Hextall going to do something? And he made some, like, minor
He
changes
doesn't
to
do
the
anything,
team, but it's just,
Penguins
like,
fans. He doesn't do anything. He sits, drafts players, and makes you wait. That's all he does.
Yeah, and, like, we don't even know what would have happened if he didn't. You know what I mean? Like, we got rid of him before
I don't want to know.
Yeah, I feel like just nothing would have happened, because seeing what Chuck did so far, like, I don't think Hextall had the balls to make those moves.
We praised Hextall. This is turning into a Hextall segment, but it's completely fine. We praised that man so much for like the way he was like rebuilding our franchise, but he basically took something that could have, like, he could have done the rebuild in about 2 to 3 years, but instead it took a fucking decade.
5 years, yeah.
Like, it's just, I feel bad.
It was
Actually,
like,
I
it
don't
was
feel
also
bad
like
for
a
Pittsburgh,
combination,
but
because like having Hacksaw too was just like the bane of my existence as a Flyers
he's just
fan.
a
It's
horrible
just like,
coach.
oh, we have shitty players, a horrible coach. We're not letting any of the young guys play, which is like what you do when you have a shitty team. That's when you let the young guys play, like when you're not contending, so that they can get experience and then, be good when you're actually ready to contend. We're not going to let the young guys play. We're going to have the shitty coach who plays like sit back fucking the entire time. That's his gameplay.
And you would have thought with Hackstall, they would have wanted to play young guys. Sorry, my dog's in the room.
All good.
You would have thought that Hackstall coached college hockey players. You would have thought he would have been good and wanted to play young guys, but that just didn't happen, I guess.
That was probably the thinking going in, but I think a lot of it was like he didn't. They brought him in thinking like, oh, this guy coached college kids, like he can really like, you know, steer the younger guys on the team. But then it was like, you can't treat the veterans like college kids. And I think they saw like right through that, where he was maybe trying to be too much of a hard ass when he first came in, because, you know, you can be a hard ass when you're a college coach because they have to fucking listen to you and respect you. But you can't be a hard ass when you're coaching men. You can, like, there's a way to go about it, but like thing like Tortorella, but you can't. Tortorella's also like proven that works. Like Hackstall's a new guy coming in and has yet to prove that works for him. And I think a lot of people like lost a lot of respect for him because he was trying to be such a hard ass with them. And I think that's mostly why it didn't work out. But the Penguins, I mean, we're going to play them one time in the 6 weeks that Crosby's out, of course. So that's going to be an interesting game in Pittsburgh. We'll see if he's back. I don't know. It's first week in November. I don't know what the timeline is, if it stays 6 weeks.
What's going on with Malkin then? Because if there was reports that Carter might be the first line center to start the season, then is Malkin out long term as well? Did I miss something?
I have no idea. I figured they were just going to start him on the second line. They might be just trying to be balancing.
You know what? That makes sense because they'll just toss Carter to the third line when Crosby comes back,
and just keep Malkin with his. Malkin's out as well.
For how long?
Let me read this quickly.
That fucking stupid ogre. Shrek-looking ass. So I guess, I mean, if Malkin and Crosby aren't playing for the beginning of the season, that's kind of crazy to think about, that the Penguins might set themselves up to get Connor Bedard.
I don't know, man. Yeah, so Malkin, I can't get an exact time frame how long he's out, but just to go through their starting lines without Crosby and Malkin, it's Gensel, Carter, Rust, Zucker, Bluger, Kapanen. Teddy Bluger's like a fourth-line center. Brock McGinn, Evan Rodriguez, Danton Heinen, also like a fourth line. Aston Reese, Brian Boyle. They have Brian Boyle, dude. He came back, and Simone, and either Simone or Lafferty. They have. And then their defense is Dumoulin, Letang, Matheson, Marino, Pedersen, Friedman, and Jerry starting goal.
Their team sucks, man.
They need to do what the Flyers did this year and like turn over like half the roster.
Crosby is the only reason they're still relevant in any way, shape, or form.
So that's the whole thing. So when Hextall got hired there, I was like, oh, like perhaps he won't do what he did in Philadelphia because you got Crosby and no, not because it didn't work, because you have Crosby and Malkin and you want to push and get as good as a team around them so that you can push for another cup. You don't want to jump into a rebuild so that like by the time you're done rebuilding, Crosby and Malkin are ready to retire. Right?
Well, that's exactly what should happen, but like it doesn't seem like that's the way they're going.
Yeah, and like come to think of it, probably should have done the same thing with fucking Giroux and Voracek, but they're not Crosby and Malkin, obviously. But it looks like, you know, Hextall's just up to his same old shit, and I don't know, man. I wonder how much the GM is involved in those choices, or
maybe
the president. Sorry.
Yeah,
Hextall's
owner,
the GM.
president. Whoever the Ed Snyder guy is for Pittsburgh, basically.
No, it's what's his name? Brian. God damn it! He was the Leafs GM.
I'm not knowledgeable in this category. This is
Brian Burke. God damn. Brian Burke's the president of hockey operations.
We're so dumb. Yeah, they literally got hired at the same time.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't remember his name. I just had Brian Boyle stuck in my head because I can't believe the fucking Pittsburgh Penguins signed Brian Boyle.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, I don't know. This team might.
Brian Burke doesn't have a good history with teams either.
No, he doesn't. I mean, he won in Anaheim, but he had the Niedermeyers and Getzlav and Perry. Anyway, the Penguins might like start out fucking rough. They might have a tough start, dude.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, that's fine with me. Like, I'd rather the Penguins not make the playoffs, but like if they're gonna be bad, I want them to be as mediocrely bad as possible. Like, I want them to be like 2-3 spots out of the playoffs, but then like have to pick like between 10th and 15th in the draft next year.
I mean, they start. Yeah, I want out of the playoffs, but low, like whatever, a teen draft pick. You don't want them to win the lottery because they will. If they're up, if they have a chance, they will.
Oh, they will.
But they start the season in CBJ, Tampa, Florida, Chicago, Dallas, Toronto, Tampa Bay, Calgary, New Jersey. They might lose all those games. That's their first.
No way they lose. No way they lose them all.
Not all of them. I'm like saying they have the chance to lose all those games. Like they could come out of that like eight, like 2-8.
That'd be quite a bad start.
Yeah. So
that made me smile thinking about it.
I know. So like, but then the whole shit might turn around once Crosby and Malkin come back. Probably will.
They probably will. I mean,
but that's not a playoff caliber lineup. No, even with insert Crosby and Malkin in there, they can carry guys. I don't think they can carry that team deep.
No, not at all. Yeah. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. Crosby out, start the season for 6 weeks. Malkin out for who knows how long. I mean, yeah, it's going to be a rough start to the season for the Penguins, but I don't think any Flyers fans are really complaining about that.
All right, enough about the fucking Penguins, man. Let's move on to the main topic of today's episode. The Flyers extended Joel Farabee 6 years, $5 million per year, total of $30 million. It's not next season, but the following season it'll go into effect. He still has one more year of his ELC. What are you thinking, DG? What do you think of this deal?
I mean, I think we both thought pretty similarly. As soon as I saw the Flyers tweet a bunch of B's, I was like, oh shit, here it comes. They're about to sign Joel Farabee. And when I saw it was only $5 million per year, I was so fucking... I started yelling, and my roommate literally thought I was getting like attacked. Like he came over, was like, what happened? I was like, no, dude, Joel Farabee just got signed to a fucking awesome deal. And he was like, oh, fuck you, I don't care about that. Like,
this is the Rangers fan?
Yeah, he's a Rangers fan. So like, so that's why he wasn't too pleased.
Lafreniere's not signing for 6x5. I'll tell you that much.
He's got to actually show that he's a good player first before he even gets anywhere close to that amount of money.
True.
But
I think Chuck hit this one out of the park.
Chuck just keeps getting better and better and
banger
better.
Banger after banger, dude. He doesn't release a bad song. It's just bangers.
This guy should go to the Hall of Fame as a GM just for this offseason, probably.
That's who they're gonna put. That's who they're gonna induct this year Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, fuck the other
Fletcher.
6 guys. Chuck Fletcher into the Flyers Hockey Hall of Fame.
But yeah, I mean, I think the money's spot on. I think he'll be outperforming that contract in the first year if he keeps accelerating at the rate he's been. He's a winger, but he's still defensively responsible. He got a lot of PK time last year. He's still a young guy. We know he has the shot. We know he has the scoring ability, has the setup ability, and he's just like an all-around player for a winger. You usually hear that of your centers, like a 200-foot guy, but if he's not now, he's going to be a 200-foot winger. So, I think it's perfect. I had fears of him being one of those maybe RFA offer sheet potential guys for this team. I was like kind of worried about it if like the offer sheets are ramping up now after the Kotkaniemi deal, but we got him locked up now. We got him a few years into a few UFA years as well, and I think the money's spot on. And it was just out of nowhere, sort of shocking. But
yeah, it was shocking. You didn't think something like this was going to happen until mid-season, end of the season this year. But like, I think Chuck might have saved himself a few dollars here, because if he let Farabee play out this season, I think he probably would have gotten more than $5 million. Probably would have been between $6 and $7 million, somewhere around there for this same term. So
hey,
it's a no-brainer good deal.
It's a no-brainer, and that shows a lot that Farabee took this deal when he knows he could like count on himself and play another year and potentially make more money, because you saw what a lot of the free agents said who came into the Flyers this year. They saw the moves Chuck made this offseason. Couturier saw the moves Chuck made this offseason. Sanheim said he saw the moves Chuck made this offseason. These guys want to stay here. They want to stay here long term. So if Chuck doesn't make half the moves he made, I don't think Farabee signs this contract this year. I think he spends out his RFA, He waits till the next season to negotiate.
Well, I also think that's definitely a big part of it. But I didn't know this. I probably should have known this. But apparently Farabee has a lot of ties to Philadelphia. Oh, yeah. His father is from here. Mm-hmm. He's been a Philly sports fan. Phillies specifically, I think. Probably Eagles and everybody, too. His whole life.
He said he was a Flyers fan, too, but he's a huge baseball fan, so he's a big Phillies guy, but he's definitely a Sixers, Eagles.
So he wants to be
Phillies
here.
Flyers guy, and
so he took less money.
Yeah, makes sense. He grew up in Syracuse, so I mean not too far, so it's like good for his family. He can still see them. It's the team that drafted you they took a shot, they took a chance on you, so you maybe kind of feel like you owe them a little bit, and he likes being here. He loves the guys. I mean, he's probably gonna love them even more next year. But like they had some characters in the locker room for his first couple of years, so. And they had some young guys who he could like mend with too. And you saw when Nate Thompson got signed.
He loves was excited. That guy. He was so excited. I think I tweeted. I was like, "Dude, if Farabee's happy about Nate Thompson, I'm happy about Nate Thompson." So.
Yeah. So he wants to play on this team. I think even said he's like lucky and blessed that like the Flyers drafted him and to be part of this organization. So that's what you want out of the young players you draft. You want them to take team friendly deals. That's why you bring them in. And, look at – I'm not comparing Farabee to Matthews and Marner, but look at – did those guys for a second try to take a team-friendly deal on a good team?
Nope.
They
basically ruined their team for the next decade because they were greedy and wanted the money more than a championship.
And they can't afford a bottom six or a defensive core.
Yeah. I mean, their best, like, this – like Wayne Simmons isn't who he used to be, but like that was like one of their best ads because they literally had no money to add anybody else like the previous year. So
yeah, I mean like even 2 years ago when they got Spezza, like that's their like best performing bottom sixer.
Like that's not really a guy I would want to sign.
Yeah, but. So I think it's one great for the team, like for the organization to have this type of player, but it shows a lot. From Farabee's perspective that, he wants to be here, he wants to play for this team, and he'll do that for $5 million for the next 6 years.
I mean, $5 million is no it's not a low amount. He's definitely still a very rich man, so it's not too big of a deal if he lost out on a couple million here or there. And like honestly, like one of my first initial thoughts for this deal was I was just thinking, like, what's going to happen 2, 3, 4 years down the line here? Like, people are going to look at Farabee's contract and be like, why the fuck is this guy only making $5 million a year? It's going to be similar. Yeah. It's going to be similar to, like, David Pastrnak. Like, I think he got signed, like, a $3 million, 5.5 or something.
Yeah, all those
deal.
guys. I mean,
like,
Pastrnak, Bergeron, and Marchand are all making, like, sub-7. I'm pretty sure. I was thinking it would be more like the Couturier deal, where like his last deal, where the current deal he's on, where he's making like 4.3, and everyone's like, "How the fuck is this guy making 4.3?"
Yeah, exactly. Like, and to mention all these Boston players, it kind of feels like the Flyers are turning into that type of team, like Boston's been for the past decade, where every single player on the team takes a little bit less just so they can add a couple more pieces to make their team like a lot better and a lot stronger going into the playoffs and potentially winning a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, and it starts at like the top of the lineup. And I'm not like saying anything bad against Drew, which is like cool, like he deserved that contract when he got it. But we'll see how he reacts, like how the next contract goes. But it's like if Bergeron takes less than 7, if you're coming in Pastrnak out of your ELC, you can't possibly ask for more than Bergeron. You know what I mean? So it's like it starts at the top and you lead by example and you show like Couturier did the same thing. I mean, I don't think if Couturier signs that deal if I was Farabee, if Couturier didn't sign that extension, if I was Farabee, I'd probably wait it out.
If Coots signed for like 9, like
Yeah,
you're
signed
right.
for 9.
If he signed for 9, Farabee's looking at Coots and be like,
I
"Oh
want
wow,
7.
he got the bag.
I want 6
I
and a
should
half."
go for the bag as well."
Yeah.
But Coots, literally one of the biggest leaders on this team next to Giroux, takes less money.
He made it a point.
Follows suit.
Yeah, he made it a point to say, like, it's, I want what I'm worth, but it's about the team too. It's about what's fair for both sides.
And about Giroux,
great number.
Yeah, about Giroux, by the way, his first deal, that's like completely fine. I don't put anything past him. He deserved every cent that he got out of that deal. And I mean, if he did that nowadays, he probably would be getting like 12 million. So like, he got his good deal. After this Farabee extension, that basically just leaves Giroux as the only like big offseason move Chuck's going to have to make next year. And I think it's been well reported that Giroux said that he is going to wait until the season ends. So I'm thinking he's probably going to wait till the season ends, let most of the offseason pan out, let Chuck sign all of those other players and role players that he's going to need to do, kind of like probably maybe re-sign Braun, probably not. Make decisions on those kind of players. And then I think...
Yeah, bottom of the lineup players.
Yeah, so like when I'm thinking that Giroux is thinking right now is I think Giroux wants to be the last person to sign.
Just see what you got
with the Flyers. Left. So to let Chuck do his thing, and whatever is left, Giroux will negotiate within that range, if not like taking a little less, I'm thinking Giroux's only taking between 5 and 6 million tops
with term. But I'm saying if like at the end of it we have a good team and we have $4 million left, give him a 1 year $4 million. Like he would take a 1 year $4 million deal and then renegotiate the next year.
Oh yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean he's not going to want to leave the Flyers if they don't have enough to pay him for that off season,
And you got to think it's not just like money and going to a different city. Like you got to like get all your fucking kids shit together. You got to think about like whatever. I don't think his kids are old enough to be in school, but like you got to think of all that shit. You got to find a new house. You got to find a new neighborhood. Get a whole routine together. Your wife's got to find some a job or something else to do. So it's like a big psychologically, it's a huge thing. Like leaving,
especially with 2 young children. I don't think Giroux wants to do anything like that. I don't think that's even crossed his mind leaving the Flyers, but even if it has, I think the whole kid situation just makes that such a hassle. He's got a place here in Philly, and he's got a place in his home up in Canada. So
yeah, in Ottawa. So I mean, like it's the same thing with Couturier. Like what I was saying about Farabee. Like Couturier took that team friendly deal, which like team friendly I say, but like he's making $7 million a year. It's good. It's player friendly as well. So I can see Giroux, at his age, doing something like that at a lesser number.
Giroux will make less than Coots, so obviously, we're going into like Giroux instead of Farabee here, but it is like it's what's coming up. He's going to make less than Coots, so you got to think he's going to make less than $7.5 million. And if Farabee's at 5, like I guess like Giroux at 5 would make sense. 3 years, $5 million.
Yeah, so I was just thinking,
like that?
Is Kevin Hayes making more than Couturier?
No. Coots is making 7. Is it 7.75 or 7.5? Because I know Kevin Hayes is making like just over $7 million.
Okay, yeah, Hayes is 7.1, and Couturier, it's 7.75. Okay.
Yeah.
So, no, we haven't. Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, let's cycle. I'm going to cycle back to Farabee a little bit here.
Go ahead.
With his deal, Farabee is making $500,000 less than Konechny, and in my mind, I think Farabee is going to end up becoming a better player than Konechny. Not saying Konechny's not good and isn't going to be a great player, great top 6 player for this team, but I think Farabee is going to be better. So the fact that he's making a little bit less is like that in itself. If you saw this deal and didn't think it was good for whatever reason, like I can't even think of one that someone would come up with for why this is bad. Like that, like him making less than Konechny should be what convinces you that this is a good deal.
Yeah, and I mean, when Konechny signed that deal, the following season, he led the team in whatever points, right? So the COVID shortened season. So like we immediately like, oh, this is a fantastic deal. He's outperforming it immediately.
And now people are like hating on it a little bit for stupid reasons.
I think he'll bounce back, and I mean,
not even bounce back. He doesn't have to bounce back. He just has to appear to look better on the ice because he still had the points.
Yeah.
He needs to play better defensively a little bit, I would say, then maybe not go so hot and cold because he's not a sniper, so he shouldn't be going hot and cold like JVR. Mm-hmm. He should be like a consistent player.
Yeah, and it talks his shit, dude. You know, he's at the best when he's talking his shit, and we saw a lot of games where he had his mouth shut.
I don't know. He's a dad now, so he might be a little bit more responsible out there on the ice.
I don't know.
Or maybe the ice is the only place he can be irresponsible.
Yeah,
now.
Maybe that's it. Now he has to.
That's a good way to think about it. That's how I would think about it.
I think you cracked the code there.
That's it. I wish we could interview this guy. I wish we were like big enough to interview him because that'd be a hilarious thing to bring up to him.
TK, yeah.
Yeah. Been like, I know you're a dad now, but so you got to be a little responsible, but does that mean when you're playing hockey you can be as irresponsible as possible? I don't know. That's the Travis Konechny us Flyers fans know and love.
Hey,
so
tell
that's
you what,
Travis Konechny we want to see on the ice.
If I run into him walking the dog in the park, I'll let you know. I'll ask him.
Oh,
I'll ask him for you.
Dude, ask him. Thank you.
No problem. All right, let's go into the post game. So just happened today. Flyers tweeted out they want the fans to pick the new goal song, which. So coming at this, I like that we talked about in our first or second episode how we need a new goal song. Like this team had such a facelift this offseason that we we need a clean slate coming in, right? So change the goal song. I mean, I'm pretty sure Voracek chose the Feel the Shake. So it's like he's not on the team anymore. Why we still have like his song as the goal song? It doesn't really make sense. I'm curious why they're having the fans do it. Usually like a player will choose the goal song.
Yeah.
I guess they're just trying to find fan interaction, but it's like, I hope they don't. Like, I don't give a shit what the goal song is because I think this team's going to be really good and that's all that matters. But I want some
win song is the more important song.
Some sort of high energy, like rock song or something that we talked about it before, like chant with or something like that.
Yeah, something we can just like yell. Like dupe, like
I love dupe.
It's not gonna be dupe. Yeah, like I see people commenting dupe
and bro him.
Dupe.
They're not gonna do a song they did already. We're going clean slate, new face, like new look. Like they're not gonna choose
the new chapter.
They're not gonna go back to a previous song we did.
Yeah, you're right. I think I tweeted today. I was like, any song or any track from Farabee's mixtape will do for me.
That was funny, yeah. So I mean, I was thinking like some maybe like Philly-born artist, and I was trying to think who's from Philly. Like
I think
Hall and Oates, but then like the Maple Leafs do Hall and Oates. Their goal song is "You Make My Dreams Come True," which like is kind of weird. I wouldn't want that as my goal song, but it's just like
I saw someone suggesting "Knock Knock" by Mac Miller. Which that was never a goal song for us.
And he's also from Pittsburgh, which is it was the locker room song.
It was the locker room song, yeah.
For that 2010 season. So that's a good one. I don't think they'll do that.
I don't think so either. These are the ones that I've seen people bring up. A lot of people are doing some joke ones too. Like I think there was like somebody once like the NBC like news like intro song.
Yeah, stupid. Like
someone said like the Sunday Night Football song. Like
do some sort of go AC/DC, Metallica, Motley Crue, something like that.
Yeah,
just some noticeable hard rock guitar riff that's just gonna get my blood pumping. Like
kind of like the song that we use for our show here.
Yeah, exactly.
Just with some words, not just the
and something we can fucking scream at the opponents.
You're like we're talking about this, but it doesn't matter what the goal song is as long as we're winning hockey games. But this is just a fun thing, It's just a fun thing to talk about and like think like, oh, what should the Flyers goal song be? And them allowing the fans to kind of give their input. I like personally because it's a sport. It's for fun, and you should involve the fans. So I really like the way they went about that.
It makes you feel part of it. And also, like, the goal song, I feel, is more for the fans than it is for the players anyway. It's not like...
Yeah, the players don't care.
it's
they're
not
more
like
happy that they scored a goal
your
than the
walk-up
song that's on.
song in the MLB or like your walkout song in wrestling or UFC. Like it's not something that's like unique to you. It's like it's for for everyone in the stadium.
Yeah, and it's for the atmosphere and
Yeah.
everyone that's there, you know. So that was a good thing the Flyers talked about on their social media recently. So I'm going to bring up another topic of conversation for post game. So the Flyers posted on 9/11. If you haven't heard or saw, a lot of people really hated the post. It was basically just like the Twin Towers with 3 Flyers American-born players in front of it, and
raising their sticks.
Yeah, raising their sticks. So it's probably just like it was just from last season. They just picked JVR, Hayes, and Farabee, who are all American-born players. And for some reason, a lot of people, basically everyone, I don't think I saw anybody defending the Flyers account whatsoever. Everybody just hated it. They were like, you have time to take this down. You can still take this down. And like, when I saw that, I was kind of like ticked off. I was just like, why are you guys digging into a tweet so much? Like it's just not that complicated. It's 9/11. They made a tweet about 9/11 on 9/11. There's no further or deeper meaning other than them just trying to show awareness for all the people that lost their lives that day. There's nothing more to it. And people digging in to that, trying to start drama with a fucking person who runs the Flyers Twitter account. That's just nonsense to me. And I just think it's kind of fucking pathetic even to like hate on it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, could it have been a different and better post? Probably. Was the one that they posted tasteless in any way? No. Was it a takedownable, cancelable offense? No. But, I mean, people want something to yell about, and that's just what social media is these days. So, I mean, people are like, why are those players in it? Whatever. Like you, I looked at it right away and went, okay, Twin Towers, U.S. players saluting. That's
nothing
it.
more to it. It's just a post.
Keep scrolling.
It's just a tweet. Keep scrolling.
I was on my like Flyers Twitter account. If I was on my regular Twitter account and saw that, I would have saw it and scrolled by it, and I never would have heard anything about it again. But because I was on my Flyers Twitter account, you know, I saw all the riffraff and uproar about it. You know, I honestly didn't think it was a big deal. It was a perfectly fine post. Like, okay, yeah, make it more about the Towers and not the players. Maybe make them more prominent in the picture. But it's just like,
it's the Flyers Twitter account. Every sports Twitter account does the same shit. Yeah, people are grasping at straws, and I mean, I saw a lot of people I respect in Flyers social media like hating on it and stuff. It's just like, guys, you're overthinking it. Just move on. Like, come on, it's not that big of a deal.
Because late August, early September, you guys have nothing to fucking do in the hockey world.
You just want to complain and try to cancel somebody for no reason.
Yeah.
To me, that's just not. Yeah, it's just not. I guess who you and I are. It's not something that bothers us. I didn't take offense to it whatsoever. So
you could show. I mean, like, show that to 10 people who aren't on social media. I don't think anyone would see anything wrong with that.
No, not at all. But that's what social media is nowadays. So you can't really do anything about it.
Yeah. So I mean, sometimes there's shitty stuff on social media, and sometimes there's fun, spur of the moment, coincidental things. So why don't you go into this next one, DJ?
Yeah. So I don't know if it was today or it was recently. I guess some Instagram model, influencer, or whatever posted like an ad, and what do you know? Kevin Hayes is just in the background staring right at this smoke show in the background of this Instagram picture, and it was just, I mean, when I saw it the first time, I just started laughing. I thought it was hilarious. I don't know if it was in Philly, New York, or wherever, but it's just funny that out of all the people in the world, Kevin Hayes just walking right on by.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, it was clear that like the model or whoever posted it, I didn't even go to her profile. I just saw a screenshot on Twitter. It was clear that like they didn't know who he was and didn't post it because there was a professional athlete staring at her. So that's what made it even funnier. To her, it was just some random dude who was staring at the camera when she happened to be, taking her picture of her ass or whatever she was doing.
He's just walking by. I mean, Kevin Hayes is going to look at a pretty girl when he sees a pretty girl, I guess.
I mean, we're all human. Like, who's not gonna walk by and look at a pretty girl who's standing there making a big scene, taking a picture?
Yeah, come on. I might have a slightly different opinion than you on this. I think that it was on purpose, and the reason she posted it is because she wanted people to see it and be like, did you not know that was Kevin Hayes? Like, I feel like nowadays, like, people post things on social media with something like in the background or something funny that's like so obvious that they want you to comment on it, if you know where I'm going with this. Like,
I understand what you're saying, but
like, I think Brady
players in public are so low key and unrecognizable if you don't really, really follow the game that.
Yeah, it's not the NFL or
it's not the NFL or the NBA or even baseball to an extent where you can tell that that person is a professional athlete just by looking at them. I
mean, I don't know. All baseball players kind of look pretty similar.
But I'm saying, like, they get more airtime and, you know.
Yeah, they're more well known than hockey.
Yeah. Like the main guys. So I would not like doubt it for a second if this girl and any of her followers didn't know who Kevin Hayes was.
Yeah. Who knows?
So I think it was a funny coincidence thing. I don't think it was done for any clout or anything. And it was also like it was multiple pictures, and it was like the third or last picture, like in the flip through.
Oh damn! He doesn't even get the first picture.
Yeah, because she doesn't know who he was, man. She's always
maybe he'll get a date with her now. They'll have a nice laugh. There's no way. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know, dude. Who knows if he even approached her? He probably just walked by.
He probably just walked by. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, now that it's out, he might, slip in those DMs. But I don't know.
That's where I was going there. I feel like that's something Kevin would do. You got to shoot your shots.
Yeah. I mean, he's a single guy making $7.1 million a year.
Yeah. Yeah, why not? And if any of you guys listening haven't seen that picture, I believe it's one of my most recent likes, DrunkReady00 on Twitter. So if you guys want to see it, take a little laugh, it's up there. Z, why don't you wrap us up here?
All right, cool. That wraps up this episode of Tie My Skates. Please like, comment, follow on Twitter and Instagram at Tie My Skates Pod, and listen anywhere you get your podcasts. I'm Z. He's Drunk Ready. We'll see you guys next time.